Mandishma, what's up, Anashim? All the Ha'am, Mishpaka, Shalom Yahudim, Ma Shalom Ha, Ma Shalom Ka. I greet you all this Yom, to all the Bayit house of Yasharel, all the Goyim coming out of paganism, all the Ger and Garim feeling alienated, but now being grafted in to the Bayit of Yasharel. Shalom Aleikum, Shalom Shalim, and welcome to the Eliyahu channel. Praise Abba Yah for this opportunity to come to you, to your homes, and to share another Parashat as we continue from Bereshit, chapter 25, 19 through all the way to chapter 28, 1 through 9 verse, and also if we have time to go Malachi, chapter 1, 1 through to chapter 2, 7, if we have time through that, because I don't like to keep it too longer than an hour, 10, 20 minutes. So, but we want to go verse by verse. For if you first time tuning in to HaRuachEliyahu channel, EqualsHavenMinistry.com or EliyahuChannel.com, we do our parashas different. What we like to do our parashas, we like to go verse by verse, chapter by chapter, reading together, looking at ideas, allowing the Ruach Kadosh to quicken us, not going by any form of Talmudic, rabbinical, or messianic, or any other commentaries, but just read it plainly and put it out there so everybody can read it together along with their Torah as we read it with our either Orthodox Jewish translation, ISR, and comparison with whatever translation you're reading, and to help you to move forward in many of the words. And once again, I say quickly, we do not use the replacement theology. We correct these words, which the replacement theology is based on the Roman Apostolic Catholic Church that has infiltrated in many writings, including even the rabbinical and messianic Hebrew scriptures, putting Latin words, Catholic words that have misguided direction and information. Just reading it alone will change the whole commentary or the whole understanding of the translation and create their own transliteration of taking the whole topic in another direction, the story to mean something else. So we do not use these words, and we're not doing it to, in any way, in any manner, to judge it, be judgmental, or verbally hurtful to anybody. We're here in this ministry of HaRuachEliyahu channel, EliyahuChannel.com. We want to bridge you and bring you out of the Roman Apostolic Catholic paganism and their Latin, Germanic, and Yiddish words that have been infiltrated in and brought in to change the meaning and water down and muddy the waters so it's not tasting good when it's drinked. We're not getting the mikvah, tevilah, rakats, waters to drink. We're getting muddy waters, watered down stuff, and we don't want that. We want to get to the source, and we're learning continually more and more as we go on much of the different words that are out there. So you could email me, and I could send you PDF or PowerPoints to show you the multitude of different words, and you could start bridging yourself and either speaking normal English to people or the correct Hebrew words and more cleaner, and then teach people also to bridge them out of those words. We don't have to say pistos, faith. We don't have to use those words. We could use the word the understanding of having trust and belief, or studying to show yourself approved, trusting and believing in Emunah of the Torah. I can say trust and believe all day long to people, and to replace the pagan spirit of pistos as well as fati. Okay, so that's just a little example. You can freeze that, look at it, email me, and I can send you a copy, a printed form, or the colorful pamphlet that you can see here, and you can get a copy of it printed yourself, or I can email you a hard copy by your request as well. Well, welcome to the Eliyahu channel. Thank you. My name is Eliyahu. Thank you for tuning in. If it's your first time in, welcome. Please subscribe. If you like us, if you don't, send us what you feel is right or dislike about it. My understanding as a teacher and a student of etymology to be able to bridge you and bring you out and open your eyes to the truth of understanding. Some of it's in plain sight. You know, you look at the dollar bill and you see the pagan dramatic word God in we trust, which all the Nazis had on their belt buckle, Gott mit uns, while they were throwing our people into the fiery furnace throughout Europe and destroying, torturing, killing, and doing medical experiments in the name of Gott, or as they say in Anglo-Saxon, good, G-O-D-D, and they shorten it to the word God, which also we know that in the word in Hanuk, it's God Riel. It's God Riel. It's a deity of G-O-D, of money, fame, and fortune, and it's just a bad taste of choice of words. You're calling on the mighty one of the money, name, and fortune. Money, fame, and fortune on the dollar bill with an all-seeing eye and a pyramid. If that's who your mighty one is, then you go ahead and follow the Illuminati and the Masons, what they're praying to and believing. That's their deity. They're calling on it. But the Yehudi have no business doing that. And the Messianics and those are coming out and learning the true words. You could scratch yourself with common sense and say, wow, this is not his name. Why is this? We're using this word, and it's on a dollar bill that was printed up with this word since October 1st, 1946 to 48. Very freshly young and new. It's not eternal, okay? It's not sketched on the stones of history. It is a modern infiltration of bringing pagan deities. Okay, so his name is not G-O-D, and his name, that is a title expression of Aloha, Elohim. Okay, that's singular Aloha. Anyways, let's go on now. Let's move forward. That was a little bit of an introduction, kind of what we share and teach, but we want to get into the Parashat verse by verse. It's very exciting. The last Parashats we've been going through, finding new things as we go. We welcome the presence of the Ruach in the midst of us, as the same anointing that's here with me will be there with you, right there with you as well. That his anointing will be upon you and revelation will come forth. We renounce the hidden works of darkness and cast it aside, and all imaginations of every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of Aloha, our Yahuwah, and we release Emunah by Torah, reading the word. Emunah comes by hearing and reading and studying and hearing in your mind the Torah, and Torah in the Emunah mixed builds up more Emunah to live and walk in a right walk as Torah observant. Torah observant. And that's what we want to be forward to be Torah observant, to be observing the word, reading the word, studying, and walking it out and living it. Not all of even the rabbinical or of the Yehudim are walking out Torah observant. Some are pure-hearted, and even if they're under certain traditions of Talmud, they still got pure hearts. And the same thing, there's people searching in Christianity, in the Messianic movement. They're searching for the truth, and they're hungry for the truth. And those are the people that are hearing and receiving this yom. And we are striving forward to die daily and learn more and increase our emunah and increase in Torah. And I'm just helping you, giving you a helping hand to spark you to search out the matters and research it. There's a lot of things in plain sight that are obvious in there, and we ignore it. Busyness of our labors of work and the busyness of our schedules, but we do want to help you, to bridge you out of all what was being infiltrated through those first people from the Scottish Reformationists of the Scottish Presbyterian of their confession that they created in 1660 something, no, 1647, 48, after the Civil War in Great Britain, and they brought in this watered down version of the King Imus and infiltrated the Christianity, as well as the rabbinical we have. You can look at they're using all the pagan Latin words, they're using Catholic words, even in their translation to English as well. You're not snapping to that. There's a total infiltration in all dimensions and aspects and areas. So, welcome to Eagles Haven's Ministry and Eliyahu channel. You got a little bit of an introduction to who we are. We love Yah and we're striving forward together with you. All the mishpokah of the house of Yeshua. Let's go now to where we're reading in Bereshit, chapter 25, starting at verse 19. Okay? And this is the genealogy of Yitshaq, Abraham's son. Abraham brought forth Yitshaq. And verse 20, and Yitshaq was 40 years old when he took Ribqah as a wife, the daughter of Bethuel, and the Aramean of Padam Aram, the sister of Laban, the Aramean. And Yitshaq prayed to Yahuwah for his wife because she was barren. And Yahuwah answered his prayer, and Ribqah, his wife, conceived. Now, according to the book of Yashar, she started to conceive around the years, about when she was 30 years old. And this is in parallel with the Sefer Yashar, chapter 26, 3 through 10 on. And when we read these chapters, we're reading on together with chapter 26 and 27 of Yashar in comparison, which I have I'm fixing to upload another video on that, on just Yashar separate. Okay? Verse 22, and within her the children struggled together. And she said, if all is right, why am I this way? So she went to ask Yahuwah. 23, and Yahuwah said to her, 2 nations are in your womb, and 2 peoples shall be separated from your body, and 1 people shall be stronger than the other, and the older serve the younger. And when the Yamim were filled for her to give birth, see, twins were in her womb. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, so they called his name Esaw. And afterward his brother came out, and his hand holding on to Esau's heel, so his name was called Yakov, which means grabber. And Yitshaq was 60 years old when she bore them. Verse 27, and the boys grew up, and Esau became a man knowing how to hunt, a man of the field, while Yakov was a complete man dwelling in his tents. So that gave him a little, he was in the tents, he was doing, could be the business of the administration of his father's ministry or work of his cattle, and doing the ministrational work, office work, also learning, reading, writing, studying. Now Esav, or Asav, means rough handling. Hebrew number 62:15. That's what his name means. And Yitshaq loved Esav because he ate of his wild game, but Ribqah loved Yakov. And in verse 29, Yakov cooked a stew, and Esav came in from the field, and he was weary. And Esav said to Yakov, please feed me with the same red stew, for I am weary. That is why his name is called Edom. Red. And Edom is Hebrew numbers 123. It means red in one. All right? Red one. And you got to know also that this little story here in verse 29, he came in the field, he was worried, is that actually because he fought in battle with some of Nimrod's bodyguards and soldiers, and he ended up killing Nimrod. That's really, he was weary, traveling, running and fleeing and fighting and running and fleeing and hiding and ducking and diving and killing and then striking and cutting the head off of some of them, well, Nimrod himself, according to the book of Yashar. Okay? And he came in the field totally weak and weary, thinking somebody's going to kill him. The whole sovereignty of Nimrod is going to come after him, but it was a secret according only to the scriptures of Sefer Yashar. But Yakov said, sell me your birthright today. And Esau said, look, I'm going to die, so why should I have a birthright? Now, this raises a question that in the battles of he fought with the bodyguards of Nimrod, and he had to take them out before he can get to Nimrod, and he did it slowly like a hunter, little by little, and then fought a few by himself. If he didn't get cut, he had to stitch himself up, patch himself up, bled, he was wounded, right? Almost he felt like he's wounded to death. And so in this little sentence here, Esaw said, look, I am going to die. So that leaves you, when you read it in Bereshit, you wonder, why is he saying this? But when you read it in Yasher, you know why. Because he was in some battles. And I don't care, when you're in battle and you're the winner, you're the winner. But you will come back with scratches, bruises, cuts, and nicks, and you got to stitch yourself up here and there. Okay? And so he says, so why should I have a birthright? So he's feeling like he's probably stitched up, bleeding, or hurt, and he's hungry and weary and worn out. And he makes this statement, which is a foolish statement to do. Okay, verse 33. Then Yakov said, swear to me, Hayom. And he swore to him and sold his birthright to Yakov. Verse 34. Yakov then gave Esaw bread and stew of lentils, and he ate and drank and rose up and left. Thus Esaw despised his birthright. He didn't even think about it, because he ended up healing up and got well, and he got probably mad at himself more than his brother for being a corn grabber. So he ended up, was very disappointed in himself, probably more than anything else. And when you can be mad at yourself, you can be mad at the other person, even unto anger of hurt. Verse 1 of chapter 26, Bereshit. And there was scarcity of food in the land, beside the first scarcity of food, which was in the Yamim of Abraham. And Yitshaq went to Abimelech, father, the sovereign, and sovereign of the Philistines in Gerar, 26:2. And Yahuwah appeared to him and said, do not go down to Mizraim, live in the land which I command you. So the father is telling Yitshaq, don't go to Mizraim, live in the land I command you. In verse 3, sojourn in this land, and I shall be with you and brakah you, for I give all these lands to you and your seed. And I shall establish the oath which I swore to Abraham, your Abba. And I shall increase your seed like the brilliant ones, or the principalities above of the Shamaim. And I shall give all these lands to your seed, and in your seed all the nations of the earth shall be baruch. And hear how he says it in the Orthodox, and I will make your zera to multiply as the Havim of Shomaim, and I will give your zera all these lands, and in your zera shall kol goi haaretz be baruch. And because Abraham obeyed my voice and was shomer over my mishmaret charge, my mitzvot, my hukot, and my Torah. There are powerful statements here. He's telling him about the reflection of his Abba, Abraham. And the footnotes is Torah, plural, Torah teaching. All right. And Yitshaq dwelt in Gerar, verse 7. And she Makom asked him about his Isha. And he said, she is my Akot. For he was terrified to say, she is my Isha. Least said he, the she Makon should kill me for Ribqah, because she was beautiful to look upon. Verse 8, and it came to pass, when he had been there a long time, that Abimelech, Melech of Philistine, the Philistines, looked out at Cholon and saw, and Hini Yitshaq Medzakach was caressing Ribqah, his Isha. It wasn't just fondling. It says in Hebrew, he was kissing his wife, you know what I mean? In verse 9, and Abimelech called Yitshaq and said, Hini, for a surety she is your Isha, and why said you she is my Akot? And Yitshaq said to him, because I said, lest I die because of her. Abimelech said, "What is this you have done unto us? One of the people might likely have slept with your Isha, and you should have brought a sham guilt upon us." Verse 11. And Abimelech charged all his people, saying, "He that touches this man or his Isha shall surely be put to death." Then Yitshaq sowed in that land and reaped in the same year 100-fold. And Hashem Yahuwah baruched him. Verse 13. And the man became very prosperous and went forward and grew until he became Gadol Meod. For he had possessions of Zon and possessions of herds and many of Edim, and the Philistines envied him. I'm reading this for you. You can read your whatever translation you're reading along. So with the Latin letters of Hebrew I'm reading, you can learn what the words mean. And just for the fun, you can grow and understand these words, but read along unless you have a better, cleaner translation, or you have an Orthodox Jewish or ISR, or even Hallelujah scriptures. You can read along with us too and correct some of the Hallelujah and ISR scripture words. Verse 15, for all the wells which Aviv had dug in the days Yamim of Abraham Aviv, the Philistine had stopped them up and filled them with dirt. And Abimelech said unto Yitshaq, go from us, for you art much mightier than we. And verse 17, Yitshaq departed from there and encamped in the valley of Gur and dwelt there. So I'm showing you here what the word Gur is, a rolling country. Gur. This is different from Gur or Gar or Ger. This is the rolling countries. Verse 18, and Yitshaq dug again the Be'orot HaMa'im well of water, which they had dug in the Yamim of Abraham Aviv, his father. For the Philistine had stopped them up after the Mot of Abraham, and he called their Shemot after their Shemot, by which his Av had called them. 19, and of the Yitshaq dug in the valley and found there a well of Ma'im Chaim. And the herdmen of Gerar, rolling hills, did quarrel with Yitshaq herdmen, saying, the Ma'im is ours. And he called the Shem of the well Esk, contention, Esk, because they disputed with him. And they dug another Be'er and feuded over that also. And he called the Shem, the name of it, Shitnah, enmity. Verse 22, and he moved away from there and dug another well, and for that they strove not. And he called the name, the Shem of it, Rekovot, broad places. And he said, for now Yahuwah has made Rakov room for us, and we shall be fruitful in Haaretz, on this earth. Verse 23, and he went up from there to Beersheba. That's the place of the 7-time oath, where he laid 7 lambs out, and he did the sacrifices. And the covenant he made, his father made, even Hagar made there. It's repeatedly happening in Beersheba, the place of the 7 oaths. Verse 24, and Hashem Yahuwah appeared unto him, Ba'la'ilah and said, I am Aloha of Abraham, Elohi Abraham, Avika, be terrified not, for I am with you, and I will berekah you and multiply your zerah for the sake of Ani, Abraham, my servant Abraham. 25, and he built a Mizbeach there and called upon the Shem of Yahuwah and pitched his oel there, and there of Yitshaq dug a well. Then Abimelech went to him from Gerar, and Akuzat, his advisors, and Paikul, the Sarzava of his. This is the captain of his guard, his leaders, and some army men, And Yitshaq said unto him, why come you to me, seeing you hate me, and have sent me away from you? Verse 28, and they said, we saw certainly that Yahuwah was with you, and he said, let there be now an oath between us, even between us and you, and let us cut a Brit covenant with you. Now he's cutting a Brit covenant with Abimelech, which most likely, we don't know if it's the same one, because this is a title like a Pharaoh, a Caesar, or a Herodian. That's passed from son to son. It's mentioned in the book of Yashar in detail. How many were they and where they were, and they're even found in the Yamins of David, okay, sovereign David. So, and it's a title, all right, position title. But they made a covenant with each other. They cut Brit, and of course we saw the last time in the Parashat that they cut a Brit. He grew a tree, and that's where they sprinkled the blood, and that's where they cut the Brit and the covenant. So either crosses the border and they see the tree, they remember the covenant from their ancestors all the way down to their great-great-grandchildren will remember that covenant they have with Abraham, Yitshaq, and Yakov. And verse 28, and they said, we saw certainly that Yahuwah was with you. So he's seen that there were Bereshit, and they lost some of the Bereshit in that area. They realized by having them there, they were Baruch and Bereshit and Berekat just for having them there and welcoming them there. Verse 29, that you will do us no ra'ah, just as we have not touched you, and just as we have done unto you nothing but tov, and have sent you away in shalom. You are now the Baruch Yahuwah. Or we could say the Baruch of Yahuwah. Verse 30, and he made them a mishte, feast, and they did eat and drink. Of course, when they cut Brit and they sacrifice animals, there's always a meal. That's part of the covenant. Verse 31, and they rose up early in the boker and swore one to another. And Yitshaq sent them away, and they departed from him in shalom. So the covenant is an everlasting covenant, and according to the book of Yashar, and also in Bereshit, there's a tree involved, and so it goes on from generation to generation, just like Yahushua was staked on a tree, and his blood is part of that covenant. Whoever walks by will see that blood of that covenant, not a cruz, but it's the stake of that area of Skull Mountain. Okay, and it came to pass the same yom that the Avdi Yitshaq came and told him concerning the bear which they had dug, and said to him, we have found Ma'im. 33, and he called it Sheva, 7, Sheva oath. Therefore the Shem of the is Beersheva unto this Yom, the 7 times oath. 34, Esaw was Arba in Shana, when he took to wife Yehudite, the Bat Beri, the Hittite, and Basmat, the Bat Elom Hittite. So when Esaw was 40 years old, he took wives, with a plural, the Yehudite, the daughter of Berit, the Hittite, and Basmat, the daughter of Elon, the Hittite. Now you notice that it's Yehudite. The Yehudite, that's right. And this is before Judah was around. So let's look at this in Hebrew, okay? And look what it says in Hebrew here. You seen this right before your eyes? Yahudith, Yahudith, or you would say Jewish, or Judith, a Canaanite Judith. That's right. She took a Canaanite woman, but her name was Yahudith. All right. So what? Because you got to remember they were speaking of that Paleo-Shemitic Katav Ibrit back then, right, from the boat. Everybody got the same boat. So just because she was a Canaanite, right, or a part of the Yehudites of that certain group. But it's amazing to see the word Yehudith, all right, Yahu, in that word, okay, in that name of that girl that Esaw married, thinking that would please his parents, okay, and the daughter of a Beri, all right, a Hittite. He's a part of the people the father said not to be with. Okay? But it's amazing how that name was around even before the house of Yehuda. Verse 35, and they were a morat ruach, grieve of mind and spirit unto Yitshaq and Ribqah. Okay? So they were not told women, even though the Yehudite girl had a good name. Tob Shem. Okay. Verse 27. And it came to pass that when Yitshaq was sakin, old, and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esaw beno ha-Godol, his older brother, and said to him, Beni. And he said unto him, Hini, here I am. Verse 2, and he said, Hini now, I am old, I know not my yom mot. Therefore take now your kilim weapons, your quiver, and your cassette bow, and go out to the Sadi, the valley of the plains, and hunt me some wild venison. Feels like he's going to die, so he wants to eat a good meal. I had another plan. How many of you know Yahuwah has another plan in this drawing here? Right? Verse 4. And make me matamim, savor me tasty and good, such as I love, and I bring it to me, that I may eat, that my nefesh may make a berekah upon you before I die. And Ribqah heard when Yitshaq spoke to Esaw beno, and Esaw went to the Sadi to hunt for wild game and to bring it. 6. Ribqah spoke unto Yakov her ben, saying, I heard Avika speak unto Esaw Kika, saying, verse 7, bring me wild game and make me matamim, that I may eat, and make a berekah upon you before Hashem, before my mo'ot. Now therefore, Beni, my son, obey my call, according to that which I command you. Go now to the zon and bring me from there to Gedai, Izim, Tavim, good kids of goats, and I will make them matamim for Avika, such as he loves. So she's going to do a little spice recipe up and make it taste like the venison he likes, but she's going to spice it up and trick his senses. He can't see it, but he can taste it. And verse 10, and you shall bring it to Avika, that he may eat, and that he may make a berekah upon you before his mot. In verse 11, Yakov was not too dumb. He said to Rebekah, look, Esaw is an ish sa'i, hairy man, and I am an ish chalak, smooth man. 12. And if Avi will touch me, and I shall seem to him as a metate'ah, mocker, or somebody's lying, or actor. Here's an actor, metate'ah, mocker, actor, and I shall bring a kilah upon me, and not a berekah. So he will bring a kilah, a curse, and not a berekah. And Imo said unto him, upon me be your kilah, Beni, only obey my call, and go bring me them. And he went and got and brought them to Imo, and Imo made matamim, such as Avi loved. Verse 15, and Ribqah took begadim of Esaw, her ben gadol, and chamudat, best ones, which were with her in the ba'is, and dressed Yakov, her ben Katan. So she got some of his clothes that was in her house, and they had the smell of her son. That's right. And the feel and the smell of his garments. They probably had to get him to smell like him too, of the earth. Verse 16, and with orot gadai ha-izim, skins of the kids of the goats, she dressed and covered his hands, and also upon the smooth of his zavar neck. Verse 17, and she gave the matamim and the lekim, which she had prepared, into the yad Yakov her ben, the hand of Ben. Verse 18, and he came unto Aviv and said, Aviv, and he said, Hin ini, who are you, Beni? His voice, verse 19, and Yakov said unto Aviv, I am Esaw, your becker. I have done according as you told me. Arise now, sit up and eat of my wild game, that your flesh may make a benediction upon me. Verse 20, and Yitshaq said unto Mono, how is it that you have found so quickly, Beni? And he said, Yahuwah Eloheka worked it out for me. He worked it out for him, all right. And Yitshaq said unto Yakov, come near now, that I may touch you, Beni, indeed, whether you be Beni Esaw or not. And Yakov went near unto Yitshaq Aviv, and he touched him, and said, the kol is kol of Yakov, the voice, but the yadaim are the ed of Esaw. So his smell, his touch, his skin, because of the skins. 23, and he discerned him not, for his hands were surot as Yedi Esaw Akiv. So he made a benediction upon him, and he said, are you indeed Beni Esaw? And he said, I am. So he had a little doubt. He had discernment still active in him, but there was trickery. He never thought his own son would trick him. Verse 25, and he said, bring it near to me, and I will eat of the wild game of Beni, and that my nefesh may make a benediction upon you. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat, and he brought him yain, and he drank. Verse 26, and Aviv Yitshaq said unto him, come near now, and kiss me, Beni. And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the riach, smell of his begadim, and made a benediction upon him, and said, see, the riach of Beni is as the riach of Sadi, upon which Yahuwah has made a benediction. So he smells of the earth. My son smells of the earth, I know him anywhere. So his mother really dressed him up. All right? It made him even smell like his brother. Even the OD, the odor of his old clothes. In verse 28, therefore, HaRuachEliyahu give you of the tal hashamayim and the fatness of haaretz, and plenty of dagan and terosh. Verse 29, let people serve you, and amim bow down to you. Be giver over your akim, and let beni imeka bow down to you. Arur be everyone that curses you, and Baruch be he that baruchs you. Verse 30, and as soon as Yitshaq had completed making a cob of benediction, and Yakov had hardly gone out from the presence of Yitshaq Aviv, his father, that Esaw Akiv came in front. That Esaw Akiv came in from his hut. His brother came in from the hut. Verse 31, and he also had prepared matamim, and brought it unto Aviv, and said unto Aviv, let Aviv arise, and let of the wild game of Know, that your nefesh may make a benediction upon me. 32, and Yitshaq Aviv said unto him, my ata, who are you? And he said, I am ben Ikah, your becker, your firstborn son Esaw. Verse 33. And Yitshaq trembled with Cha'ada Kodola Kedola Od Kedula Ad Meod, exceedingly great trembling, and said, where is he that has hunted wild game and brought it me? And I have eaten of all of it before you comest, and have made a benediction upon him, and indeed he shall be baruch. Whoa! So the prayers are not something you just, when you lay hands on people and you pray for them, that's why it says in scriptures to lay hands suddenly on no man, even if they want you to baruch them and baruch them. These Christians, Messianics, they use the pagan Catholic Latin word bladosin, blessing, blood ritual, because bless means bladosin. Blessing means bladosin. Bless means blood clot, blood bleeding for a sacrifice of bladosin, a bleeding sacrifice. All right, so it's mistranslated. It's a transliteration, not a translation. So they took very serious not to lay hands suddenly on no man, as it says in scriptures. But in the communities out there of the different religious beliefs, they lay hands quickly and they pray one another, not knowing the fruit and the character of the people they're praying for. And they release these prosperous favor berikots upon them. Okay, and they impart it to them, and they should not, because that person's going to get favor. It's very powerful here, right? He can't take it back because there was trickery. That's when I first read this years ago when I was young reading Torah, and I said, well, can he take it back because there was trickery? No, he ate the meal of the sacrifice, or of the breaking of the lakim, of the meal, and with the meal comes the berikot as well, just like when you're doing an offering. Okay. And 34, and when Esav heard the words of Aviv, his father, he cried with Zekah, Kedolah, Umara, and Me'ohed, a great exceeding bitter cry, and said unto Aviv his father, make a berakah in me, even me also, O Aviv, my father, what did you do? 35, and he said, Akika came with Mermah, deceit. My brother came with Mermah, deceit, Mermah, and has taken away your berakah. Verse 36. And he said, is not he rightly called Shmo Yakov? For Vaya Kivini, now he deceived, outwitted me. These 2 times he took away my Bek Orah, birthright, and now he has taken away my berakah. And he asked, have you not reserved a berakah for me? 37. Yitshaq answered and said unto Esav, see, I have made him giver over you, and all his akim have I given to him for avadim, and with Dagan and Tirosh have I sustained him. What shall I do now unto you, my son? Verse 38. Esav said unto Aviv, have you but one berakah, Abba, Aviv? Make a berakah on me, even me also, O Avi. And Esav lifted up his gold voice and wept. And Yitshaq Avi answered and said unto him, Hini, your moshav dwelling shall be the fatness of haaretz, and of the tal ha-shamoi from above, and by your chrev shall you live, and shall serve akikah. And it shall come to pass, when you shall become restless, that you shall break his yoke from off your zavar neck. And Esav hated Yakov because of the berakah, wherewith Aviv made a berakah upon him. And Esav said in his lab, which is heart, the Yemi Ivel, days of mourning, for Avi are at hand. Then I will slay Yakov, Aki, my brother. Verse 42, and these words Esav, her ben Hagodol, her, were told to Ribqah, and she sent and called Yakov, her ben Hakatam, and said to him, Hini, Esav, Akika, as touching you, does console himself, proposing to kill you. So he let him know. Verse 43, now there beni shema bekoli, listen to my voice. Arise, flee you to Lavan, Aki, to Haran. Verse 44, and tarry with him a few yamim. Yeah, right. Yamim is going to be years, until Hamet Akika subsided. Abba knew how long it was going to take. Okay? He knew how long it was going to take for him. Verse 45, And when Akikah subsides from you, and he forget that which you have done to him, then I will send and get you from there. Why should I be bereaved also of you, both in Yom Aked, one Yom, the same Yom? 46. And Ribqah said to Yitshaq, I'm weary of my lie because of Benot Het. If Yakov take an Isha of the Benot Het, Hittite women, such as these which are of the Benot Haaretz, that I will Ha'im to me be. What will Ha'im to me be? What would be her end of her Ha'im? She would be miserable. Okay. Chapter 28, verse 1. Yitshaq called for Yakov and baruched him, and charged him and said to him, you shall not take an Isha of the Benot Canaan. Verse 2. Arise, go to Padana Aron, to the Bais Betul Avi Emeka, and take you an Isha from there of the Banot Laban Aki Emuka, from your uncle, your family, of your mother. Verse 3. And El Shaddai baruch you, and make you fruitful, and multiply you, that you mayest be a kahal amin, and give you the berkat aviham to you and to your seed with you, that you mayest inherit the eretz wherein you art a ger, which Elohim gave unto, or Aloha gave unto Abraham. Which Aloha gave unto Abraham. Call him a ger, a stranger in that land. Okay. Verse 5. And Yitshaq sent away Yakov, and he went to Padan Aram unto Lavan ben Betul the Armin, Aki Ribqah, Yaakov, and Esaw. Esaw marries an Ishmaelite. Thought he could keep it in the family, and he's still messing up. Verse 6. And when Esaw saw that Yitshaq had baruched Yakov and sent him away to Padan Aram to take an Isha for him from there, and that when he baruched him, he gave him a charge, saying, you shall not take an Isha of the Banot of Canaan. And that Yakov obeyed his Av and his Emma, and went to Padan Aram. And Esaw, seen that the Banot of Canaan pleased not Yitshaq his Av, then went, verse 9, then went Esaw unto Ishmael, and took unto the Nashim which he had, Makalat bat Ishmael ben Abraham, and Akot of Nevaot to be his wife. So he took one of his half-brother Ishmael, uncle, or daughters, to be his wife, and he thought this will please Abba. Of course, this goes into the next Parashat. You see how it's prepared for you in the Orthodox scriptures. Also, if you look at it in the ISR doesn't do it, just the Orthodox Jewish scriptures gives you Va'itz. Okay, the next Parashat, which we'll read next week. Okay, so we stop there in verse 9, and we'll go back, start in verse 10 of chapter 28 of Bereshit. Isn't that a great Parashat? Little things here and point out here and there, but we do not, we know that in the verse 6, see his daughter Rahel is coming with the sheep. And that's what we're going to read also in verse 12. So now we have time, so let's go to Malachi chapter 1 and read the Haftarah. The burden of the Devar Yahuwah to Yasharel by Malachi. Yahuwah loves for Yasharel. See, this is the Orthodox Jewish translation, and look at, they put this Lord word in there. This ancient pagan word from ancient Canaanites and Baal worship, and also led into the House of the Commons of Lords of Great Britain, okay, calling themselves Lords of the House of Commons, that house of their place in Great Britain, okay. Isn't that a trip? This is a Orthodox translation. See how it's bled through. No one is innocent, is guiltless from allowing these pagan words to bleed through. It's best just to learn Hebrew, best we can. You know what I mean? Verse 2, I have loved you, says Yahuwah, yet you say, wherein have you loved us? Was not Esaw Yaakov's brother, says Yahuwah, yet I love Yakov. See how they lined it up in the Parashat to match the other portion of the Bereshit, Parashat Toldot. In verse 3, but I hated Esaw and his mountains and his Nek'alah. I laid waste into wasteland for the jackals of the midbar. Whereas Edom says, we are dashed to pieces, but we will return and rebuild the ruins. Thus says Yahuwah Zabaoth. They may build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them Givul Risha, territory of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahuwah has indignation ad olam forever. Verse 5, and your eyes shall see, and you shall say, Yahuwah is Kadol, great, even beyond the Givul Yashoral. Verse 6, a ben honors his Av, and an Aved his Adon. If then I be an Av, where is mine honor? And if I be Adonim, a master of masters, or the master, where is my reverence? Says Yahuwah Zavaos. Zavaos unto you, O Kohanim, that despises my Shem. But you say, where have we despised your Shem? Verse 7, you offer Lakim Mikulaol, defiled food, upon my Mizbeach. And you say, wherein have we defiled you? In that you say, the Shekan of Hashem is to be despised. And Shechem is the table of Yahuwah, is to be despised. Verse 8, and when you offer the blind animal for sacrifice, is it not raw? And when you offer the lame and diseased, is it not raw? Offer it now unto your governor. Will it be pleased with you, or receive you, says Yahuwah Zavaoth. Verse 9, and now I pray you, beseech Aloha, that he will be grievous unto us. With such offerings from your hand, will he receive you, says Yahuwah Zavaoth. Verse 10, who is there even among you that you would shut the Dalat Aim of the Bais HaMikdash? Bais Magadash is the place of worship, better word than temple. Temple's a Latin word, okay? And it's even the Yehudim use the word temple. The Jews in Israel use the word temple today. But it's Bais HaMikdash, clean, good word, so that ish would not be kindled on mine Mishbeach in vain. There is no shevet's pleasure to me with you, says Yahuwah Zevaos. Neither will I accept a minkah at your hand. For from the rising of the Shemesh, even to the going down of the same. Now, in Hebrew, that does not exist. The rising of the Shemesh, they say the rising of the sun. Word rising came out in the year 1500, late 14, mid 1500, rising, and sunrise, sunset, because they wanted to add the heliocentral system in the Catholic scriptures, and it ended bleeding in Latin. In Greek as well as in Hebrew, they don't use the word rising. They say that the Shemesh is coming from the east gate, making its circuit. When it's sunsetting, it doesn't say sunset because it doesn't set. Okay, it's not throwing a flip. I have videos on that. All right, what the earth looks like according to the scriptures. So it says, and the Shemesh is going through the western gate, right? So it's making a circuit, like a record player. So even this is a bad English. If you read it in Hebrew, you can read it and understand it better. Okay. Of the same, my Shem shall be Kodel among the Goyim, and every place incense shall be offered unto my Shem, and a Mimka Teorah, for my Shem shall be Kodol among the Goyim, says Hashem Zevaos. So his name shall be great among the Goyim, the nations of the earth. So how can the name be great if you're not saying his name? You're saying Hashem, 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 Hashem. The name, the name, the name. And the Goyim and the Gar, they say, well, what's his name? Keep saying the name. Well, what is his name? Okay? And it's just another cover word like Lord, and it's a shameful thing because it is not a shameful thing. That is a prohibition that was created by a particular rabbinical people, that they will not get the benediction truly, fully, by saying the Shem of Yahuwah phonetically out loud, to bring forth the benediction of Yahuwah, of Torah, by saying his name out loud. Verse 12, but you have committed Hilu Yahuwah, desecrated of the name, desecrated the name. And you, by not saying his name, you're desecrating it. For using the cover words is a desecration and a total disrespect, in that you say the Shulchan Aloha is Mekod al, defile the table, and the fruit, even the food thereof, is contemptible. Verse 13, and you said also, Hini, what I burden it is, and you have sniffed scornfully at it, says Yahuwah Zevaos. And you brought that which was injured, and the lame, and the disease, thus you brought a minka. Should I accept this of your hand, says Hashem Yahuwah? But cursed be the Nokel, swindler, charlatan, which has in his flock a male, and vows and sacrifices unto Yahuwah, the one being blemished. For I am Melech Kadol, says Yahuwah Zevaos, and my Shem is to be revered among the Goyim. So how can the Goyim know his name and revere his name if you don't speak his name? And you're giving blemish of sacrifices and all that. So he's explaining to them in Malachi. He's explaining them the blasphemy. It is a blasphemy when you're doing a bad sacrifices of these sacrifices, not from a willful, loving offering, but a charlatan. You're being a charlatan, a swindler, a cheat. Okay? You mean a cheat, a swindler, and a charlatan, it says. Let's go to chapter 2 and finish this haftarah. And now, O ye Kohanim, this is the Kohanim, this misvah is for you. If you will not hear, and if you will not take it to Leb, to give kavod unto my Shem, says Yahuwah Zevaos, I will even send a merah curse upon you, and I will curse your brakot, yes, and I have cursed them already because you do not take it to Lev. Hini, I am rebuking your zerah, and I will spread dung upon your faces, even the dung of your hakim, and it will take you away with it. 4. And you shall have da'as that I have sent this misvot unto you, that my Brit might continue with Levi, says Hashem Yahuwah Zevaos. Verse 5, my Brit was with him of Haim and Shalom, and I give them to him that he might revere me. So he revered me and stood in reverence before my Shem. Verse 6, Torah emes was in his mouth. This is powerful right here. And iniquity was not found in his lips. He walked with me in Shalom and Yashros, and did turn Rabin, many away from Avon, iniquity. Turn many away from Avon, iniquity. For the Kohen's lips should preserve Da'as, and they should seek Torah at his mouth. for he is the Malach Yahuwah Zavaos. But you are departed out of Hadarek. You left the right ways, and you have caused Rabin to fall into Mishkol, stumbling blocks at the Torah teaching. You have corrupted the Brit of Levi, says Yahuwah Zavaos. And this ends this Parashat Torah. Now, I want to read it. My covenant with him was high and shalom, and I gave them to him to revere, and he revered me and stood in awe of my Shem. But how could you know and be in awe of Shem if you don't know his Shem? If you know it, you say it, you scribe it, you confess it, you praise, you worship, you speak it and confess it and scribe his name, that the nations may know and revere and have terror. You show exploits in his name. Verse 6, and the Torah of truth was in his mouth, and unrighteousness was not found in his lips. He walked with me in shalom and straightness, and turned many away from crookedness. Nehemiah Perek Shmone, verse 13, verse 7. For the lips of a Kohan should guard knowledge, and they seek the Torah from his mouth, for he is the messenger of Yahuwah of hosts. And use the word messenger like, that's why I read it in another translation here, is like a malach, like a messenger of Yahuwah of Zevaot. But you have turned from your way, and have caused many to stumble in the Torah. You have corrupted the covenant of Levi, says Yahuwah of Zavaot. Wow, wow, wow. This was so powerful. This Torah has some depth in it about the curse that comes not speaking the true name out loud. Of course, I don't give the name of the Father to wicked sinners. I don't. I don't give it to blasphemers, the Ger, the Ger, many of their Goyim, Goyim that are seeking and know Torah and keep the commandments or want to know more. I give them the name. But I will just blast it or to people that are going to blaspheme in their drunkenness and kill themselves, speaking his name, only to the people that would revere Yishem. And it's like the other day, Yom, I was Etmo, Yamim, I was in a sports bar, Buffalo Wild, what's it called? Buffalo Wild something, sports bar. And there was a young man there, and the Father told me to give him his name and ask him, do you know the name of the creator of the universe? And he looked at me, he says, no, I don't know. I'm afraid to say the word Lord or G-O-D. You're right. I showed him the dollar bill, and I told him, your ancestors from the land of Mizraim knew his name as Yahuwah, as Yah short, but Yahuwah. And he said, he reached his hand, he said, I thank you, I felt that. This isn't a crowded, loud, sports eating restaurant. So once in a while, the Father will give it to the right person. He said, you go and look it up and research it. You go Google it. Look it on YouTube. And he said, I will. He was touched by it. You could see it. In the midst of all the noisiness of the crowd, he got it. Okay? And Abba has a way for us to see, feel in our Ruach, and feel the Ruach Kadosh quicken us to speak it to certain people in the elevator, on the private areas, walking around, stores, markets. But others, you just don't spit it out. You want to give it to the right people, and they would go forth with right rule and revere his Shem. Wasn't this great? We got to read the Torah of this Parashat Toldot as well, and we got to share it together. Don't forget, you can get this, email me, and I'll send you a hard copy, or go ahead and send you an Eagles Haven Ministry at yahoo.com, and I can send you PDF files or PowerPoint studies, as well as I can email you and help you with, if you want, me to mail you the hard copy, but I can email you the file so you can print it up yourself wherever you're at. Praise Abba Yah. I just thank Abba for the opportunity to be with you and to share with you. And I pray his berekot to be upon you and touch you and overwhelm you with his love. And may Yahuwah baruch you and keep you. And may his light shine upon you. Ivarekaka Yahuwah ve'ishmereka. Ya'ed Yahuwah panav eleka ve'ikoneka. Isav Yahuwah panav eleka. Ve'yasim leka shalom. And may Yahuwah baruch you and keep you. May his berekot overshadow you, his favor, and he lift up his countenance upon you and give you shalom and give you shalom shalim. Wherever you go to and fro, that his face will shine upon you with favor. In the Shem of Yahuwah, I pray over you now. And may you, I felt it right now. In the balls of my hand, I felt heat surging. Somebody is receiving this berekot of the Aaronic berekot. Hallelujah. Praise Abba Yah in the Shem of Yeshua. Hallelujah. So now I close this. Thank you for tuning in, and get ready for the next Parashat Va'itzi coming next week.